There's no way Ralph Macchio should have been dumped by his girlfriend at the beginning of Karate Kid 2. I know. She left him for a football player at UCLA, but it's such a terrible plot hole. Have you thought about that lately? Probably not as much as me, but it doesn't make any sense. How are you going to leave a guy right after he's just swept the All Valley Karate Championships? Ladies, back me up on this point in the comments. No way do you end the relationship at that exact moment. You're dating the champ. The champ! Now, I myself got dumped once at a high school semi-formal. I was dating a girl from a different school. It was in Worcester, Mass. I grew up in Massachusetts, which is why I'm repping my buddy Johnny Cupcakes, and I'm still capable of saying wicked in a sentence.
Hey, that's some wicked hot chowder.
What?
If I'm back home in Mass for 10 minutes, I revert instantly to a townie. My accent comes back, and I find myself saying, I would go to Papa Gino's, I would, but it's wicked cold, and I don't even have a summer sweater. When I got married and moved my southern wife to Arlington, Massachusetts, she had never heard of the summer sweater. She said, what's this item in the LL Bean catalog? And I said, oh, yeah. That's a sweater you wear in the summer in case it's cold down on the Cape. She grew up in Atlanta and didn't even know that was a category of clothing that existed. I feel like I'm getting a little bit off course. Anyway, I went to the semi-formal in Worcester, Mass. with my girlfriend. I didn't know that she had recently ended a 2-year relationship with the Incredible Hulk's body double. I might be gigantic today, but when I was a junior in high school, I was about 5'5" and weighed 111 pounds. Now don't get any ideas. It was all lean muscle, like real fast twitch kind of situation. Midway through the dance, though, my girlfriend asked me if she could slow dance for just one time with her ex-boyfriend. Me, being the progressive, open-minded kind of guy that I was, said, sure, how could that end poorly for me? She then proceeded to dance approximately 92 slow dances with him. I'm pretty sure they danced for Babyface's entire catalog and a few Jodeci songs. Maybe even Meatloaf's I'd Do Anything for Love, again parentheses, but I won't do that in parentheses. That was one of the top songs in 1993. Don't act like you're too good for Meatloaf. The worst part of this experience was that the school she went to was pretty small. We were in an old VFW hall, and when a slow song would come on, everyone would get up to dance except me. It was painfully obvious that there was one guy sitting alone at a table, probably in his dad's blazer covered with cool water cologne. Maybe Dracar Noir. I mixed it up a lot back then with my musks and whatnot. We ended up breaking up that night in the coat closet. It was mutual in that she dumped me and I agreed that was what was happening. Joke's on her, though. I've got nearly 8,400 subscribers on YouTube. She had no idea she was dumping a regionally successful YouTuber at the time. And I've also become a writer of many, many books. Although, to be honest, sometimes that's challenging too. I tried to explain that to my wife one night at the dinner table, and she said something that was absolutely terrible to me. I'll tell you what she said, but spoiler alert, it was true. That's maybe the worst part. When you hear what she said, you're going to wince because it might apply to you too. Here's how our conversation proceeded that night. I'll play me in this story because I'm me. Me. I'm too afraid to write this book. That's what I said. Now, I'll also play Jenny because she probably won't get on this channel until it's at least 8,500 subscribers. Me. I'm too afraid to write this book. Jenny. Pause. No, you're too lazy. But fear is fun to blame because then it's not your fault. Jenny does not play around. 8675309. If you're hiding from your work, it's easier to blame fear than to admit that you're lazy. Fear is a force outside of you, some evil beast from the shadows, hell-bent on stopping you from a goal. It's a dragon, an external enemy that fights you at every turn. Laziness, though, lives a lot closer to home. Laziness is inside us, and to face it means you give up your victim status. When you do that, you take responsibility for your actions. That's scary at first because blaming others is easier than owning the things yourself. But when you own problems, you get to fix them. So instead of pretending I was afraid, I admitted I was lazy and I got to work on my book. Now, not immediately, of course. That story makes me sound way too mature. I didn't immediately receive Jenny's feedback. Oh, lazy, huh, interesting. You don't say. Let me consider your helpful words of wisdom, my beautiful bride. It always weirds me out a little bit when dudes refer to their wives as their bride. I've never heard a wife say, have you met my groom? Oh, this is my groom, Charles. Charles, come here, have some brie. That's what people who call each other groom and bride eat all the time. Brie. They're crazy about brie. When Jenny called me on my laziness, the first thing I did was argue. Then I sulked. Then I admitted that she was right. Then I wrote a new book. Now, it took a long time, but when you deal with laziness, it's amazing what you can do. Today, be honest with yourself. Have you ever been blaming fear for your lack of hustle? Have you been focused on fear? Has a little bit of laziness slid into your week? It's fun to be the victim at first because it's so easy. All you have to do is point the finger. But your hands were meant for a lot more than finger pointing. They are meant to write books and take photos and build businesses. And if you're really special, they're meant to win the All Valley Karate Championships for your sensei. How did he get dumped? Oh, thanks for watching this video. It would mean the world to me if you did 3 things. Hit the bell, click like, and number 3, subscribe to my channel. I'll keep making these if you keep watching them.